Salams and welcome. Thank you for joining me in another episode of the Quran in English Basics for Beginners. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Now we're coming to the climax of our story, the amazing story of Joseph, Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam, the great hardship that he went through his entire life. Something that he could not figure out in his young teen years, and even before teenage years, when his 10 brothers wanted to assassinate him. And the main reason they wanted to kill him was because of one simple aspect, and that is jealousy, which is hasad or envy. They were very jealous that he was so much more handsome and beautiful than them. They were very jealous that their father, who was the patriarch of the community, the chief of the community, that their father especially loved Joseph. He was the apple of his eyes. And they did not like that. So because of hasad, and as we mentioned repeatedly, the Quran reminds us that the three main qualities of Satan or Shaitan or the devil or Iblis, we can remember it by the simple acronym called ACE, A-C-E. A stands for arrogance. Why must I bow down to Satan? Disobeyed the command of God. Why must I bow down to mankind? Secondly, comparison. I, Shaitan, am made out of fire, whereas man is made out of clay, sand, and water. So fire is better than clay. So I'm not going to bow down, right? So the second factor is comparison, and the third is envy. Satan or Shaitan or devil or the Lucifer was very jealous of human beings, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator supreme of the heavens and the earth, honored mankind by instructing and commanding the angels to bow down. Now, it wasn't only a few angels, it wasn't 100 angels, it wasn't 1,000 angels, it wasn't 1,000,000 angels, all the angels, which comprises trillions upon trillions upon, so it was a huge gathering, an immense gathering, bigger than any stadium we can think of, bigger than a Hajj gathering, bigger than anything we can imagine. Trillions of angels prostrating to Adam, the manifestation or the metaphor for mankind. And the devil did not like it. Yes, like when they're bowing to this human being, they must bow down to me. I'm the one with knowledge. I'm made out of fire. Why don't they bow down to me? Because they don't bow down to me, I'm going to fix him up. I'm going to bring this guy low. Right? So his main duty is to cause a rift and divisions between human beings. And the starting point of that is the family. The devil or Satan or Shaitan causes fight between husband and wife, causes fight between brothers and brothers and brothers and sisters and sisters and sisters, whether it is in a matter of inheritance or money or anything else. Then it causes division between the community members, causes divisions and sects between different tribes or sects of the communities, and then this one doesn't like that one, or the Xhosa doesn't like this Sotho, or the Sotho doesn't like the Zulu, or this one and that one, and it causes all these types of rifts and divisions until there's disunity. And similarly in this case, Satan or the devil caused the rift between Joseph and his brothers. But now comes the apex or the climax of the story. We hear the entire family of Joseph. They are now entering the royal palace. Can you imagine? They are now entering like royalty, because Joseph told everybody. He told the Fortune 500 CEOs, he told the oligarchs, he told the who's who of the community. He told all the big shots of the community, guys, my family is coming. My parents are coming, and my brothers are coming, and all of them, the cousins and nephews and nieces and brothers-in-laws and sisters-in-laws, they all are coming. And everyone is excited. So they rolled out the red carpet, balloons everywhere, and flyers everywhere, and ribbons. Well, there weren't balloons in those times. I'm just trying to put us in that position. Like how when you win a soccer World Cup, you win the FIFA, or you win the FIFA goal in a World Cup, and then your host country, rolls out the red carpet. They take, open decker bus, the ticket tip, what is it called? ticker tape parade, bugles and various parades like the brigades and the bands are there, giving you this VIP, and everyone is regarding you as the hero. Now, finally, after so many years of separation and grief and sabr on the part of Yusuf alayhi salam, sabr on the part of his dear father who lost his son from a young age and then recently again lost Benjamin or the other son. And Joseph went through great hardship and difficulty. From an assassination attempt, he was then thrown down the well, sold into slavery for a few coins. They did not know the value of this. It's like as if you found a big rock, a diamond, size of your hand, but you don't know the value of it and you sell it for 100 rand. Meanwhile, the worth is $100 million, right? You don't know the value of it. So here was a huge diamond that they sold for a few coins. They did not know what they were doing. All they were interested in was out of sight, out of mind. But Joseph never went out of the mind of Jacob. That was his apple of his eye. Joseph went through great trials and tribulations. Firstly, he had to stand in the market, the slave market, with chains around him to be sold. He did not know who he is going to be sold to. He did not know if the rest of his life is going to work in the deep coal mines of the earth to bring out rocks and stones. He did not know if he's going to work on a cotton farm somewhere as a slave, and then his hands and feet are going to be blistered and torn and cut. He did not know in what form or shape that slavery will be. But by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, his new master who bought him did not put him through any difficult trials or tribulations or whipping and so on. He simply was astounded at the amazing beauty and the gentle nature and the kindness of this slave, and he bought him with the intention of adopting him as a son, because he recognized in him some outstanding qualities. Perhaps it was in that stage where we saw later when Yusuf alayhi salam was a prisoner, he used to help his fellow prisoners. So perhaps in this stage on the journey towards Egypt, he was perhaps helping the other fellow slaves as well, maybe sharing his food with them or giving them words of comfort and kindness. And other people recognized that, you know what, there's something different about this fellow here, because his kindness is overpowering and he's helping his fellow human beings while also suffering, and he's making a difference in their lives. So eventually he came into the house of the great Aziz in a royal kingdom. So he grew up in a very luxurious way compared to his previous life. But lo and behold, as his puberty started developing and he started becoming a magnificent teenager and a young adult, his beauty simply increased. He probably had long black flowing hair, amazing beauty, coal around his eyes, amazing muscles, because when you're growing up in any royal household, then they will teach you in the various arts of warfare and the various arts of battle and strengthening your mind, body, heart, and soul. And here the lady of the house fell in love with him and she was enamored with him, and he managed to escape from her clutches, but eventually he ended up in prison for many years. And in prison he continued his kindness and generosity with the fellow prisoners, so they regarded him as a VIP or a leader amongst them, simply because of his outstanding generosity, his kindness, and they realized he's got an amazing gift of being able to interpret dreams. And so for his fellow two prisoners, he managed to interpret their dreams correctly. Both of them were true and authentic dreams. The one ended up on a cross, dead with the birds eating off his head, and the other one who ended up as the cupbearer for the king. But as what has happened, Satan or Shaitan once again interfered and made this fellow, the cupbearer, forget to tell the king about the plight of Joseph in the prison. And Joseph had to once again undergo great suffering and patience. He had to have a lot of sabr. And he continued many more years in jail until such time when the decree of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala manifested itself that Egypt and the surrounding Middle East, the entire Egyptian peninsula, will undergo a severe drought. So if you look at Northwest Africa, look at Northern Africa, all of Africa was in drought. The Arabian Egyptian Peninsula was in severe drought, and this was foretold by the dream that the king had. And Joseph correctly interpreted the dream. He only wanted his freedom if his name could be cleared. His name was cleared, which was headline news in the community, that the one that was sent, innocent person, has been released from jail. And it is now like in modern times when DNA testing proves your innocence. So in that case, his interpretation of the dream proved his authenticity and his innocence. And the woman of the royal court, the high society woman, including the wife of the Aziz who wanted to seduce him, they all admitted that they were in fact guilty and that Joseph was innocent. And numerous trips were made from his own family members to Egypt until eventually he revealed himself to them, to their shock and horror and embarrassment and humiliation, but yet he treated them with honor and dignity. He sent his shirt to restore the sight of his blind father, so his father can see with his own eyes. He can see the royal kingdom, all the royal guards looking after his son. He can see the food, he can see all the waterfalls and the great magnificent luxury of the palace. But the great pinnacle of his achievement, the reason why Yusuf alayhi salam wanted to restore the eyesight of his father, so they can look at each other face to face, and his father can look at his beloved son's face. Others with blindness, he would not have been able to do that. So let's continue. So then when they entered the presence of Joseph, he provided a home for his parents with himself. That means he gave them the kingdom in the palace itself, so they were part of the VIP, part of the royal court, of the great role that Joseph had and the great honor that was bestowed upon him. So he gave his family the royal VIP treatment together with palaces. And he said, "Enter you Egypt all in safety, if it please Allah." Absolutely amazing. Imagine we all wish we can be like that. We all wish that we had so much money and we had so much resources that at the click of your fingers, you can help everyone out. You can spend your generosity on your family. So here he's doing such a good job. He's spending on his family. He's giving all his parents houses. He's giving his brothers and sisters, his sister-in-laws houses, nephews and nieces houses because of him. So one person has basically rescued his entire extended family. And because of him, they are all now honored with dignity, right? And listen to this, such a beautiful verse. And he raised his parents high on the throne of dignity, right? Where his royal throne was, he put his parents to sit there on the throne. He said, "This is my mother and my father. They are the ones." And they fell down in prostration all before him. They all fell down. His mother bowed down to him. His father bowed down to him. All his 11 brothers bowed down to him. And when that happened, it clicked. All of a sudden, the dream that he had so many years ago, 50, 60 years ago, the dream all of a sudden came in front of his eyes, and he told his father, he said, "Oh, my father, this is the fulfillment of my vision of old. Allah has made it come true. He was indeed good to me when he took me out of the prison and brought you all here out of the desert, even after Satan had sown enmity between me and my brothers." Now look at the beautiful speech that Yusuf alayhi salam gives. There's no complaint there. He is only making lakh shukr. He's only looking at the positive side of his life. So he's reminding his father, he's saying, "Oh, my father, remember so many years ago, I told you of the dream that I had, that the sun was bowing down to me, and the moon was bowing down to me, and 11 stars were bowing down to me, and today that has come true, because the sun is the father, the moon is the mother, and the 11 stars are the brothers." So he said, wow, that has come true. So look what he further says. He said, "Allah has been good to me He didn't say, oh, Allah put me through the test and I fell down in a well and I was sold into slavery and I was in so much hardship and this woman was chasing me and then they put me into jail. I was so in. He didn't say nothing like that. Look at the positive way. He's just talking about the good things of his life. So he does not complain. So firstly, he says, Allah has fulfilled my vision. Then Allah has made it come true. So I'm so happy. Allah was indeed good to me when He took me out of the prison. So He's not complaining about the hardship of the prison. He just said, Allah took me out of the prison. And Allah is so good to me. He united us all together. He brought you all here out of the desert, even after Shaitan tried to break our family apart. But Allah has brought us out together, and because Satan did not win in sowing enmity between me and my brothers. Satan only gained victory for a short while, right? And this is what happens in life. Satan or Shaitan represents evil and falsehood. But at the end of the day, the angels are pure good. Allah is good, pure good personified. And we know guaranteed good prevails over evil. And truth prevails over falsehood. Even though for a short while the falsehood of Satan or the evil of Satan seems to gain foothold, as we are seeing in world politics today. We are seeing so much evil, so much corruption, so much warfare, so much innocent lives being sold, and we wonder, when will come the help of Allah? But the Quran tells us, indeed the help of Allah is near, because guaranteed truth prevails over falsehood and good prevails over evil without a shadow of a doubt. Verily, my Lord understands best the mysteries of all that He plans to do, for verily He is full of knowledge and wisdom. O my Lord, You have indeed bestowed on me some power and taught me something of the interpretation of dreams and events. O You, Creator of the heavens and the earth, You are my protector in this world and in the hereafter. Take You my soul at death as one submitting to Your will as a Muslim, and unite me with the righteous. And this is a dua for all of us. Ya Allah, take our souls at death as one submitting to Your will, La ilaha illallah, and unite us with the righteous. Ameen. Such is one of the stories of what happened unseen, which we reveal by inspiration unto you. Nor were you present with them when they concerted their plans together in the process of weaving their plots. Yet no faith will the greater part of mankind have, however ardently you do desire it, and no reward do you ask of them for this. It is no less than a message for all creatures. This is the Quran is for all of mankind, for all time to come. May your life be full of barakah and blessings and afiyah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.